This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah. So welcome back. Bonjour tout le monde. Bonjour is good morning. Tout le monde is everyone. Bonjour tout le monde. And today, aujourd'hui, that's today we'll be looking at IR verbs and some of the grammar topics that we kind of missed in the past sessions. And in that way, we'll be completing the first module of this, like the first presentation that have numbers, alphabets, and all those stuff, adjective, possessive, demonstrative, and stuff. So, uh, so the ER verbs, as you have seen, the ER verbs that we did, parler was one of them, and then here what we did is we removed the endings, and then we placed certain words to conjugate it for a particular person. Suppose here the infinitive verb is parler, is to speak. We remove the er verb and then place es, ons, ez, and ent based on the person. Je is I here, tu is you, il is he or she, nu, who, ils, and else. These are they. So similar way in ir ending verbs. Example here is finir, is to finish. To finir is to finish. I finish is je finis, tu finis, il finit, and elle finit. Nous finissons. Here you have ISS, ONS, and then ISS, EZ, ISS, ENT for the plural form. So it's nous finissons, vous finissez, ils finissons, and elles finissons. That means I finish, you finish, he finish, she finish. Here he is L, she is L. Nous finissons is we finish, vous finissez is you finish, ils finissons and elles finissons is they finish. So this is the conjugation for all the er ending verbs. Similar way, the negative is just the opposite, not the negative. For the negative sentences, as we have seen before, you just need to add na and pa around the word. You have to locate the verb and then add na and pa around the verb. So in this small sentence, you can easily locate the verb that is finir, finish, finish, finissant, finissez, finissant. But in a sentence, a proper sentence, when I say I have been working here since so many years, so I have been working. So in this case, working is the verb. I have been is a sentence that is in past tense, or that is something in past continuous. I have been. Past continuous is something that happened in the past, but for a certain duration. I used to go to this school. So that is not just one time event that happened in the past. So when I say I used to go to this school, I used to is it's not the verb. Go is the verb here. I used to go to the school, and everything is in past tense. So the issue here is it's a small sentence. You can identify the verb easily. But moving forward, when we look at past tense, future tense, past continuous, future continuous, passé récent, these are all different tenses. That time it will be a little complicated to find the verbs that is actually conjugated in past tense or present tense or future tense. Okay, so this is it's simple present tense that we are discussing right now. So je ne finis pas is I did not finish. Tu ne finis pas is you did not finish. Il ne finit pas, elle ne finit pas is they did not finish. Sorry, he or she did not finish. Nous ne finissons pas is we did not finish.
Rahul,
Vous,
Rahul, hello,
yep.
sorry, I'm interrupting you. Rahul, it's present tense, no? You are saying past tense.
I was saying in the moving forward, in the past tense, you will have problem. So that's why I am, this is the, you have to be careful that time. But right now, as we are discussing present tense, it's a very simple sentence. And that's why na and pa is easy to put around the verb because they're just a subject, a verb, and an object. It's a very simple tense. I did not finish my homework.
But right now you are reading this is present one. No, I have not finished my work. You have not finished your work.
Yeah, it is present tense. This is present tense only, but I am saying is for a present tense, it is easy to find the verb and place na and pa around it. But when we move forward, that is when we do present tense, past tense, future tense, that time it will be a little difficult to find the verb and conjugate it in negative tense. So that time will have to be careful. Right now it's very simple. It's you find the verb and place na and pa to make the sentence in to a negative form. Here it is je fini, I finish. Je ne finis pas is I did not finish, or I haven't finished, or I am not finished. Okay, so there are multiple ways you can translate a word from French to English. There could be 2 or 3 different ways every time. So don't get caught in that. Just remember, you have to convey the meaning. That is more important. So, je ne finis pas is I did not finish. So here the endings, as you see, is you remove the IR verb, that is IR in the ending, and you add this endings IS, IS, IT, ISS, ONS, ONS, ISS, and then ONS, ISS and EZ, ISS and ENT. If you closely observe, ONS, EZ, ENT is same in ER ending verbs also, but in IR ending verbs you have IS, IS, IT, ISS, ONS, ISS, and then ONS, ISS, EZ, and then ISS, ENT. So for all the IR ending verbs, you have to add IS, IS, and IT for first three, that is singular, first person singular, second person singular, and third person singular. But for plural form, you add ONS, EZ, ENT, but you also add ISS, ISS, ISS. Okay, and the negative ones is na and fini. Now we'll look at the interrogative form. So there are different ways of writing an interrogative sentence. Is you either say finish here or est-ce que je finis? Is that I finished? Est-ce que, this is that, que is that I finished. Or if you do the literal translation, this is this that I finished? Est-ce que is this is, when you reverse this, it becomes is this. Is this that I finished? The literal translation. So that's one way. But when you reverse the order, tu fini is reversed to finitu. Il fini is finitil. El fini is finitel. Nous finissons is finissons nous. Vous finissez is finissons vous. And then il finissons and el finissons is finissons til and finissons tel. So here you have seen the interrogative. When you reverse the form, it becomes an interrogative sentence. Okay. So here we have seen the verbs that are conjugated and the rule that we use to conjugate all the ER ending verbs. Now we look at some of the ER ending verbs. So as we have seen the ER ending verbs here. Okay. Yeah. For ER ending verbs, irrespective of what a verb is it, if it is a ER ending verb, We follow the same rule. I think you have done almost like 15 to 20 verbs which are ending with er. Okay, so for now we are moving into the second group, that is ir ending group. In the ir ending group, there are certain verbs which are in the group, and there are also certain verbs which are not in the group, because these are like a little exceptional verbs. So all the verbs that you see on your left hand side in blue here are the verbs which are ending with er, and they follow the rule. Okay, so one for the first one is accomplir, that is to accomplish. Agrandir is, if you see here, a, grand and dir. Grand is big or tall. So when you say to make it tall, it is agrandir, that is to extend. You either extend your building or you extend your work, that is you're making it a little longer. So agrandir is coming from the verb grandir. Grandir is tall. Batir is to build. Shojir is to choose. Devertir is entertainment, to entertain. Envashir is to invade. Gerir is to cure. And unir is to unite. So these are all the verbs which are ending with er, and there are lots of verbs which are ending with er. I've given you just few examples which are most commonly used. I accomplished my work. I have extended my work. I have built a house. I have chosen to learn French, or I have chose to learn French. And I also get entertained while in class. We also uh, invaded Ladakh, and the doctors are right now taking or curing the COVID-19 patients, and in this tough times, we all are united. So like that, you can make a lot of sentences using these verbs now. Okay, and now the thing is, this language is full of exceptions, and there are certain things that are not there in English, but they are present in French, right? So first group, there were no exceptional verbs. There are very few that we didn't discuss. Moving forward, we will discuss that. But for second groups, that is an IR ending verb, there are a lot of verbs which are ending with IR, but they don't follow the rule. The example is given here. Dormir is to sleep. Okay. Dormir is to sleep. Mentir is to lie, like literally speak true or false or lie. Partir is to leave. Sentir is to sell, smell. Servir is to serve. And sortir is to go out or to exit. Okay. And all of these verbs, and apart from these, the verbs which are ending with LLIR, FRIR, OR, and VRIR. These are actually verbs, all of them are ending with IR, but there are this verbs, this family of verbs, or this temp verb that we will see in the future. These are all the verbs which are actually ending with IR, but they don't follow the rule. So for them, the rule is SST. Like for the verb dormir here, it is je dors, I sleep. Tu dors is you sleep. Il dort, elle dort, and on dort is we, one sleep. Here, there is a new term that has been introduced that you didn't see till now. This is the verb on. So this is generally used when we are talking in terms. He is a person, she is a person, but when we talk in terms of a proverb, we use one. Like, for example, in English, when we say one has to work hard to succeed, here we are not giving it as I, you, he, she, we, you, and they. We are using it's a third person, of course. It is singular, of course. So for that, we use on. One has to work hard to succeed, and one has to get up early to go to the gym, or one has to be uh, one has to be a mother to experience a child, something like that. So it is always you're using in English, you use one. That is generally used in proverbs. The proverbs and sentences that don't carry a name or a person, we use on. That is in English, it's one. So I hope I'm making sense. Quick yes or no will be good enough. Thank you. Thank you, Amreen. Okay, so I see your message. If we write finisher, is it? Did you finish? Yeah, finisher is actually Mega. It's I finished. So did I finish? And it's not did you finish? Yeah, I'll repeat the once, Srinidhi. Just a second. Mega, uh, are you getting it? Uh, when I say I finish, it is your fini. When you reverse that, it becomes an interrogative sentence, but it means have I finished? Is it done? When you say like you're not sure, you say is it done? Am I finished? Am I done? Can I leave? So here it is uh, finisher or est-ce que j'ai fini? Est-ce que j'ai fini is it I have finished. Okay. Sentir is a verb to feel. Sorry. Let me quickly check. I think I'm making a mistake here. Yeah, sorry, it's feel. Sentir is to feel. I said smell. Servir is to serve. Sortir is to go. Okay, and now coming to Nidhi, on is generally it's used for proverbs. When you say in English, you have proverbs that says one has to work hard to get rich. One has to do his homework or go to the school to get educated. So here we are not using I, you, he or she. We are using a general and a common term that says one. One can be anyone. It could be I, you, he, she, we, you, and they. For everyone, it applies. So when we don't know the gender or a person, we generally use one. One has to work hard to succeed, right? Yes or no? So who's the person when I say when we are using one? So we don't know who's the person is. Uh, is one. That is a different one. That's a number, Mega. Is that one is different. But here when we are talking about a person, someone, when I say someone or everyone has to work hard to succeed. I think everyone have heard of this proverbs that says one has to work hard to succeed, right? Yeah, we use that only in proverbs, and we use that when we are talking in general. So one has to quit smoking to be healthy. So it's not a proverb here, but it's a general statement. So whenever on the notice boards and on the signboards, they use this a lot. That is for everyone, be it I, you, he, she, everyone. So if it's a rule, so one has to obey the traffic rules. That means what? Who is one here? Everyone. So here everyone is en in French. That so now you would say which translation do we use when we're using one? So then we use a third person ka translation. That is a third person singular. Example in French for en. Yeah, let me quickly pull out an example. Generally, we say on y va, that is let's go. I think we saw this before also. That was Alonzi. Okay, this on y va is let us go. Va is a verb. On y va is it's a phrase that says let's go. Alonzi we also saw in greetings that also says let's go or let's move. We will see that you will come across a lot of sentences on. Okay, so I think on is clear for everyone. So here, yeah, thank you. So here, dormir is je dors. So it's traditionally a ir ending verb, dormir. When we say dormir, it's a ir ending verb, but it doesn't follow the rule. Now you will have a next question is how do we remember that? So for that, I am really sorry. You have to by heart this list. So which group, which verb, is it part of that regular group that is a IR ending group, or it is not part of that IR ending group and it is exception. So we would call all of these verbs as exceptions. So dormir is to sleep and it's a exceptional verb because it is not following the rule that is laid down for all the IR ending verbs. Okay. So the conjugation here is je dors, tu dors, on dort, il dort, elle dort, on dort, nous dormons, vous dormez, ils dorment, and elles dorment. That is, I sleep, you sleep, one sleeps, we sleep, you sleep, and they sleep. One needs to sleep to get healthy. So then in that case we use on. On dort sur le lit. Can anyone translate this sentence for me, please? On dort sur le lit. I had given you I think we have done all of the words, so there's no word that is left out. So the translation, can anyone give me the translation? Sajina, yes, there are a lot of other words, but if I give you all of them at a time, you will vomit it, I'm sure. So I am giving you in bits and pieces so that you can easily take them, digest them well. If I give you all of the list at a time, it will be kind of frustrating for you. So we'll do one by one. That's why I've given this as a list of verb. I've given you general rule here and I did not give, hold on. So, yeah, so I didn't give you the list of verbs that are all ending with this. If not, that would have taken you like one more slides and 20 to 30 more verbs. Instead of that, I gave you the rule. So all verbs which are ending with LLIR, FRIR, VR, VRIR, all are they are called irregular verbs. We'll see that one by one. Okay. So in French, we say on ne quitte pas. On ne. Okay. You were asking for an example. Let me know if you can see my screen. What did I open? Can you quickly tell me? Because I don't see my screen. I don't know what's wrong today. But if, yeah, thanks. Thanks, Megha. This is a verb. There is also a song which is on a kitpa, but on kitpa is on turn a kitpa is do not worry, don't worry. So here it says problem on a kitpa, and a lot of songs which are made on na kitpa is don't worry at all. So Sajina, for you, this is sorry, I have sent it to Roma. Okay, yeah, this is the verb which says na ta ankit pa. That is, don't worry. So that's my reply to Sashina. She was worried about the other verbs. So the translation is na kit pa is don't worry. You will get all of those words in the due course. And there is also a song which is on na kit pa. Okay, I don't see the song here. So that's like the classical example of where we use on a kitpa. Okay, I'll send that song in the WhatsApp group so that you can listen to that. Coming back to the topic, yeah, this is the one. Now Ankitpa is don't you worry. Here, if you closely observe, we are using tu, na, and kitpa. But since tu is colliding with a vowel, that is Ankitpa, we have T apostrophe, which says tu is you and na and pa is it's a negative phrase. So here we are actually saying you don't worry. That is tana and kitpa. And there's one which is on a kitpa is don't you worry. Okay. I know it will be it's sounding a little too complex, but just leave that. We'll come back to the topic. As don't worry, we will look at all the verbs. We'll do a lot of translation and translation in the sense we'll look at each of the verbs and we'll do a conjugation for these verbs. And one thing I need to confess here is I was kind of busy yesterday with the formatting of the system and all. So it took a lot of time, and I could not go through all of your the homework that you have sent me. So I promise today I'll check it and I'll get back to you since it's holiday tomorrow. Tomorrow is what, Friday? Yeah, there's no holiday. Okay. So tomorrow I'll check, and before the end of the day today, I'll get back to you with all of your work. Okay. Yeah. So the next here is the list of verbs which are very famous or very common that you literally use them every day.
Rahul, what will be that sentence? No, one should sleep on bed.
Yeah, sorry, I missed it.
On dort they, what is the bed?
On dort sur le on dort sur le lit. That's the sentence I had sent. I didn't send it to you. I
No,
don't know.
no, no, you were, no.
Sorry. This is the verb. I was actually sending all the sentences to Roma. Okay, only to Roma. No problem. So this is the sentence. I think everyone got it. On dort sur le lit is mega. It is wrong. Can you again check it? One sleeps is correct. Sur le lit. We had used this word before. Yes, Amrin, you are correct. One sleeps on the bed. Sur is on. The bed is le lit. Evening is SOIR, soir. So I don't know how did you pick that evening. So it's Swar is evening, Lit is bed. So Amreen, I think you are actually working on all the verbs and making the list of verbs. I can see that from this, like you were really quick. So I hope you're making the list of verbs, everyone. So it's a very good practice. I know it is kind of difficult, and it's you have to repeat this every day on like day by day. But if you do this, it will be uh, yeah. Uh, if you do this, what will happen is you'll have the list of verbs or words ready, and it will be really good if you revise. So now when I said you lit, you can always go back if you don't know the verb. So you can always go back to that word and quickly scan 20, 30, 40, 50 words and you'll find this word. But whereas if you write that in a notebook, you will literally have to move 20, 30 pages, and you will have to actually go through everything that you have written, which is very difficult, and you will not find if you move 3 or 4 pages also, if the word is there, you'll not find it. So that's the best practice. It's tried and tested. I've done it for like almost like a long time. So just try to do that. So these are the verbs which are very common. Coming back to the topic again, I keep diverting. Um, these are the verbs which are all ending with ir, at least not aler. It's ir, savar, vulvar, puvor, and devor. So we look at these are the conjugation of these verbs. Avoir is to have. So the meanings are not written in the slide, so I'll just quickly write. Avoir is to have. This is one of the most important verb in French. We have already seen the conjugation, so we'll not look at it again. Aller is a er ending verb, that is to go. But if you say that it's a er ending verb and I will conjugate it according to all the er ending verbs, so there you will go wrong. Here aller is a er ending verb, but it is exception. And there are really few exceptions in er ending verb. That's the first group. There are quite a few exceptions in the ir ending verb, because that's the second group. And third group is a group of verbs which are all exceptions. You don't have one particular rule. That is why I am going a little slow on the verbs, because first verbs you are kind of confident, as in all the er ending verbs, you know how to conjugate it. Now you have literally written all of those. Now you're slowly moving on to the little difficult part, that is ir ending verb. And once we do this, we'll move to another level that is more difficult, that are the list of verbs which are all exceptions. There is no one rule. The rule keeps on changing, so that's like more tough. This is moderate, and easy ones you have already done. So the first group, and I think Aisha had a question why the groups are there. This is the reason groups are there. The first group is the easiest group, all of them ending with er. There are quite very few exceptions. We will discuss the exceptions now. And then the second group is ir ending verbs, which have quite a few exceptions. And the third group will be RE and IRE verbs, which are all exceptions. Exceptions in the sense they don't follow the rule. So when there is a rule laid down to everyone, and if you don't follow the rule, you are an exception. So here, exceptional verbs, I'm not using the verb exceptional verbs, because these we will be discussing verbs. So these are just the exceptions. Okay. I am so sorry for the background noise today. Avoir is ir ending verb, and we have seen this. Aller is a er ending verb, that means to go. I go to the school. That is je vais, tu vais, tu vas, sorry. Il va, elle va, on va regarder. That means we will see what will come in the future. We are going to see. So in that sentence, that is how you use on. One will see what will happen.
Rahul, yesterday in the assignment, I got to see a word Sava. What does that mean?
Sava is fine. Actually, it's the whole sentence is comma Sava is how are you doing? Va is coming from here. You say this conjugation here, va. Okay, let me use a pen highlighter. Yeah, this one. Va is doing, or how are you doing? Ale is uh, uh, it's actually to go, but here it's doing. How are you doing? Comma Sava, how are you doing? So the sentence will be, you're removing that comma here because it's kind of uh, it's while writing you have to say comma Sava, how are you doing? But even if you say Sava, are you doing fine? Or are you good? Or there are lots of meaning. So so when I ask a question and when I explain the concept, then I say, did you understand it? So I would also can use Sava. Are you fine? Are you getting it? So Sava is a it's a question also, is how are you doing? Comma Sava. Here the reason I am writing Sava as CA, you have a small comma below that makes it Sava. Okay. And savoir is to know. Savoir, the verb is to know. Savoir is to know. Vouloir is to wish. Pouvoir is, if you see, all of them are ending with OIR. So if I say there is a rule that applies to all the OIR ending verb, I'm not wrong, because savoir, vouloir, pouvoir, devoir, all words are ending with U, OIR, sorry. So pouvoir uh, is to be able to, or to do, or to can do. It's actually uh, to it's actually can, pouvoir. When I say je peux, that is I can do, can do. Je peux, that is I can, is yeah, pouvoir is can, devoir is a duty, or it also means homework. It's a work actually. Devoir is a homework or a duty. So when I say I have to finish the class, I would say je dois finir, say finir la classe. That is, I have to finish, or that's my duty to finish. Je dois finir. I have to finish at any cost because that's my duty. The devoir is part of the duty, and we use this a little exceptionally in French. Je dois expliquer is I have to explain. EXPLIQUE. That is je dois expliquer. That means that's my duty to explain you. I have a duty to explain you. Je dois expliquer. It's poor is can. Can, when you're talking about can, it is can you finish? So there is a level of uncertainty here. Poor. So can you lend me some money? Here we are using can because we are not too sure that I will give you money or I will not give you money. But when I say you owe me money, I would say je dois, that is I have a duty of giving you money. Je dois te payer. I'll write that sentence. I know the pronunciation is a little different. That means je dois te payer. That is, it's my duty to pay you. Remember here the pronouns they come after the verb. So when I say I have to pay you, here you is coming. Sorry, I have to pay you is here to pay is the verb. You is coming after the verb, but there you comes before the verb in French. So here the sentence will be I have you to pay. So that is why the tu is coming before. So je dois te payer is I have a duty or I must pay you here. So je dois te payer. That's my duty to pay you. So here wherever you have to do it by force, you have to say devoir, but where you have a little ambiguity, you use pouvoir. That you use in English also, can and must. There is a very slight difference for people who are also appearing for IELTS. I learned this somewhere. I could, I would, I must. There is a lot of difference here. I would, I could, I must. So, or I should. So these are the four different sentences. I'm going a little out of topic because I want you to understand this in English also. I could, I should, I would, and I must. So here in all of these four sentences, there is a level of will and a duty. I would is that is saying I would pay you. There is an ambiguity. I might pay, I might not pay. There, there is. How do I explain that? And I could is I might pay you. I have a wish of paying. If I get the money, I could pay you. I must pay you is even if I don't get money or I don't have the intention, I will pay you. I must pay you, irrespective of what my intention is to pay or not. Or I should pay you. That's a very affirmative sentence. I should pay you. I hope I am making a little sense. A little sense. I know it's kind of complex that you cannot explain it over a live class. If there is a board, I would have explained you in detail. Are you getting the concept? Would, could, must, and should. There is a level of intention and a duty in all of these. So there's yes or no, quick yes or no. You did it right, no worry. Thank you. Yes, thanks. I was kind of in a ambiguity situation that you did get it or not. Thank you. And moving forward, I would expect is you either use we or no. That is we or no. Yes is a we, no is a no. So thank you. And like coming back to the topic, I know I get a lot of sidetracked always. And here is a pronominal verb. We'll quickly do that. It's very simple. When I say it's a pronominal verb, we also call it as a reflexive verb. So here the reflexive verb is something which reflects on the person also. When I say I call is I call police, I call him, I call you, I call the driver, I call the bottle, or I call my dog. These are all the verbs that you use for I call. And there is also a word here which says I call myself that you generally don't use much in English is I call myself. So here you're talking about yourself. How do you perceive yourself? That is I call myself uh, an expert. I think you can you quickly say yes or no if you use this sentence in English? I call myself an expert. Do you use this sentence? I call myself an engineer. I call myself. I call myself. Yeah, a few S's and a few no no's. That means it's. I don't know. Even I'm not sure that we use that on a day-to-day basis in English or in a professional way in English. So I would. Yeah, sometimes Samreen. Yes, I know. Yeah, we say I am, but we would not say I call myself an expert in teaching, or I don't call myself a failure, and I don't call myself as a something. The sentences are something like this. I think you use that in writing, maybe, but not in speaking. So here in French, we use it a lot. These are called the reflexive verb. Reflexive verbs are verbs in English, but in French we call them pronominal verbs. I think, yeah, you have this in English as well. So they reflect upon the person who's saying. So when I say it's a traditionally, for example, here is it's a traditional er ending verb. So appeler. Appeler is to call. We did that in a regular er ending verb also. Appeler is to call. I call the dog. That is je appelle. I think you did this in the sentences. I saw someone doing this actually writing it. So if you have not done, that's okay. It's a traditional er ending verb, but since there is a se before it, as I told you, appeler is the verb that is in infinitive form. So I hope everyone knows what's an infinitive form. We no infinitive form of a verb. A quick yes or no. Infinitive form of the verb is the form where it is not conjugated, like parler or now we saw finir. So yeah, infinitive form is the form of a verb which is not conjugated. So until a verb is conjugated, it is in infinitive form. So these are the infinitive forms of the verb. So we have seen parler, P-A-R-L-E-R, that's the infinitive form. And similar way, it's a er ending verb. Appeler is also infinitive form, but here when you have s and a e, the reason why it is striked off, I'll tell you, because there is a collision of vowels here. So here it is sir appeler. So any verb which is starting with se is a reflexive verb. Okay. Megha, yes, it's you. Suppose when I say finir, finir is the verb that literally means to finish. This is the infinitive form of the verb. Finir is to finish. Parler is to speak. So here to is compulsory because that's the infinitive form. But when I say I speak, it is je parle. That is I speak. I don't say I to speak. So the parler, P-A-R-L-E-R verb is the infinitive form, but when you conjugate it according to person. It could be first person singular, second person singular, third person singular, first person plural, second person plural, and a third person plural. So when we conjugate the infinitive form of a verb in first person singular, that becomes je parle and not je parler with the R. Yes. So try to get this technical words. Infinitive form of the verb which is not conjugate. That is this. Finir, parler, appeler. These are all infinitive form. And the literal meaning of this is to speak, to finish, to eat, to drive, to sit, to get up. There are always to before that. because that's a verb. The verb is the traditional meaning of a verb is that defines an action. So an action is always associated with to speak, to finish, to do, to rest, to sleep, to get up, to run. So these are all verbs, and these are the infinitive form of the verbs. I hope the infinitive form is clear. When this is the infinitive form of a verb that is called appellaire, and since it is added, or there is a word that is so se is added before that, that big verb becomes a reflexive verb. I'll also give you some examples of the reflexive verbs. Okay, we don't have it here. Uh, 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 uh. Okay, yeah, there I'll give you some of the verbs here. I'll write it here right away so that you have some idea of the reflexive verbs. Yeah. So the verb parler here, appellaire is to call. That is, appellaire is to call. So when I say I call Megha, that is, I could actually we are maybe in a room and I call her. I just shout out saying Megha. I call Megha. But when I am away from Megha, I would say I call Megha. That means I am actually picking my phone and calling her. So in that case also we would say I call Megha, or I telephone Megha, or I mobile Megha. So there are different ways of saying the same thing, and even if it's depends on the situation. When I say I call Megha, it's like I call taxi. So there are two ways. I'm literally shouting out, "Hey taxi," or I'm actually picking up my phone and calling a taxi. So in both the cases, we use appellaire, that is to call. But when I say Sir appellaire, that becomes a reflexive verb. That means Sir appellaire is a verb that means to call oneself. It's an infinitive form. Sir becomes a infinitive form. So whenever this is the infinitive form of the verb, Sir appellaire is to call oneself. When I add je appelle, it is I call. But when I say je m'appelle, it is I call myself. Okay, are you getting this? If you closely observe, if it is without a s, we are just conjugating the verb directly with I. It is je appelle, I call. But when we are using the reflexive verb, that is se appelle here, se appelle, that means to call oneself. To call oneself. Here we are using je m'appelle, that is I call myself. Okay, is it clear? Is it not clear? So for first person, the se appelle becomes je m'appelle. The se is changing to me because it's first person. Appelle is a regular er ending verb, and here it is you add a double l. Q, the pel, is the se is changing to the because it's second person. Q. Il and L, it remains same because it's in third person. No will also have a no here. So it is nous appelons. That means we call ourselves. Vous appelez is you call yourself. Il and elle se appellent is they call themselves. So I'm writing the translation here. It is I call myself because it is oneself. Here it is you call yourself. Here it is again third person. It is he or she call themselves or herself or himself. And then here we say we call ourselves. We call ourselves Indian. Nous nous appelons Andean. Who is you? You call yourself. Again, formal and informal. And then the last one is they call themselves. So here if you see, oneself is changing to myself, oneself is changing to yourself, oneself is changing to herself or himself, oneself is changing to ourself, oneself is changing to yourself, oneself is changing to themselves. Because themselves is because this is a third person plural. And why myself is because it is I will be my, you will be you, your, he or she will be her or him, we will be we, our, you will be your. We have seen this in adjective possessive. And the last one, they or they will be they call themselves. Are you getting it? Yes or a no? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's a little complex one which is not there in English. That's why it took me a really long time to explain you. So remember, appeler is a regular verb and it's a regular year ending verb. When we add sir to it, it becomes a pronominal verb. So you will have both appeler verb, sir appeler verb. So when we are saying sir appeler, he's asking what do you call yourself or what do one call oneself. Okay. Now the most important thing, reason I said you this is whenever you say in French, in English, I am Rahul Sancheti, that's my name and that is how I call myself. So here you're using I am, that is to be. So in French, literally you say je suis, I am, right? Yes or no? Yes or no? When I say I am Rahul Sancheti, I am using the verb être, that is to be. Yeah, Aisha, I'll again explain that. If you closely observe the word here, when I say I am, what is the verb here? I am Rahul Sancheti, or in your case, it is I am Asha. What is the verb here? Only Asha replies, please. What is the verb? Oh, no, 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 no. You are either jumping onto the translation part. I'm just asking you here in the example here when I say I am Rahul Sancheti. If you don't know the appeler verb, you would say je suis Rahul Sancheti. Is it correct or not? Because je suis is I am. And what is the verb suis? Suis is the conjugation of the verb to be, that is être. Être is the verb to be and suis is the conjugation of that verb for first person, right? Yes or no? Are you getting where I'm heading? Yes. Okay. So yeah. So when I say I am Rahul Sancheti in French, you would say, suppose Mega. So I would say je suis Mega. That is I am Mega. But in French, you don't never say I am Mega. You always say je m'appelle Mega. That is I call myself Mega. Literally, if you do, you would say je suis Mega. I am Rahul. But in French, you don't use I am for your name. You always use this way of saying, that is, I call myself Rahul. Je m'appelle Rahul. And when I ask, what's your name? What's your name? Roma, suppose I ask it for Roma. Because I don't know the name, I should not have mentioned that. It's what's your name to Roma? I would ask.
Yeah, my name is Roma Hodgson Dani.
Yeah, no, I'm just like it's an example. So I would
Oh,
say either I use it by Q or I use it by woo. So there
yeah.
are two ways, Q or a woo. Q is informal, woo is formal. So in that case, I would say Q t'appelles comment. Comment is what? Comment is how. Sorry, I missed that. Tu t'appelles comment. No, Mega. Comment is how, not comments. Commencer is a how. When you see a CER in the ending, commencer is how. Commencer is to commence. Comment is how. We have seen that in the interrogative sentences. Combien, comment, quel, qui. So comment is how. So here, when I ask Roma, what's your name? In French, I would ask, tu t'appelles comment? Or there is the other way of saying, comment tu t'appelles. Both are correct. Comment tu t'appelles is, how do you call yourself? Right? So when I ask Mega, comment tu t'appelles? Mega, your answer would be? Can you quickly write it down? In that case, for everyone, this question is, if I ask you when we meet for first time, I would ask you, comment tu t'appelles? So your answer would be, quickly write it down, please. When I ask you, comment tu t'appelles? Is yes. There is a little spelling mistake. The spelling is there on the board, on the, or suppose you ask me, comment tu t'appelles? I would say, je m'appelle Rahul. Yes. So here, what you're saying is, I am Nidhi, I am Rahul, I am Aisha, I am Megha, I am Sachina. So here you're saying, my name is, or I am Amreen, or I call, the literal translation is I call myself Megha. That's the literal translation. So there is one which is literal and there's one which is the, on a broader level, the meaning of it. So when I say, what's your name in English? I would ask, comment tu t'appelles? That is, how do you call yourself? You would say, I call myself Megha. Right? Are you getting it? A quick yes or no? Thank you, everyone. So I think we have like we started a little late, and I think it's 12:50 already. So I think we have done a lot of stuff today. It was, I think, I don't know how it was a very light session or it was a little tough or a moderate or a tough one. Yeah, you need practice, of course, Nidhi. Any language needs practice. I'm just showing you the rules. I'm just showing you the rules, and also I've sent you a document, a PDF. It's a book, so you can go through this. Why do we this call thing? We can't simply the verb at. Yeah, if it have mega, it would have been just a verb at. It would have made our life simple and it would have been easy for you to learn. So since it is complex, we are sitting on a Thursday morning and learning this. It is complex. That's why we are learning it, and that's why I'm here to help you out. So on a lighter note, of course. So it's that is the way it is. So any language you have exceptions, you have uh, so the whole point is you have to first thing is learn the rules, and then for learn the exceptions, and then use them frequently so that you use both the rule subconsciously and the exception subconsciously. So when I write like a sentence, I sleep, I sleep, I sleep, now I know that I sleep is the verb that looks like this, that it's registered in my head. So even if someone says me that it's a IR ending word, I would always say it is your door, not a IS ending verb, not like DORMIS, dormis, because I have never seen that verb. I've always seen DORS, je dors, I sleep, right? Comment vous appelez-vous is a very formal way of saying comment vous appelez-vous. So suppose if generally if it's a relation between a professor and a student, the student always addresses a professor with vous, and the professor always addresses a student with tu. So if you ask me my name, you would ask vous, comment vous appelez-vous? Comment vous appelez-vous is how do you call yourself? Uh, like in any sentence, Aisha, Amreen, you have M apostrophe here. So let me quickly tell you here, and we'll see this again in the next class. Je m'appelle is I call myself. Okay. Now, if you say you, is it is when I'm saying a formal one, I would say you call yourself. That is vous vous appelez-vous. It's a repetitive, it's a reflexive verb. That's why we have this nous and vous double. So when I say the same thing in interrogative sentence, what I do is generally I reverse the form. So it is comma, vous, and then appelez-vous. That is, we have reversed the form. So the one vous goes before the verb, one vous goes after the verb. So we have reversed the order. So it is comma is how one call, you call yourself. The first thing, Amreen, is we just saw the affirmative sentence today for reflexive verbs. We'll also see the negative sentence. We'll also see the interrogative sentence. So, ne inquiète pas. Ne inquiète pas is don't you worry. We will look at all of the sentences. On va regarder is we will look. We are going to see. On va regarder is we are using this on because we are using this as we will see. On va regarder, we are going to see. We will have to work on that. So right now, just remember is you are not using être verb when you say I am Rahul. We always use a reflexive verb that is se appeler, and the sentence would be je m'appelle. I call myself. Okay. And when I say you are students, all of you, I can also I would say in this way is tu t'appelles étudiant. You call yourself student, and he or she is a Canadian. I would say il s'appelle, sorry, it's always the name. So it's il s'appelle name, that is il s'appelle Marie, or il s'appelle Peter, or il s'appelle Nicole, or il s'appelle John or Mark, like that. And then when we get into nous, is we call ourselves Indians. Nous nous appelons Indiens. Vous vous appelez, Andien, ils s'appellent, if they call themselves, suppose a region, we will say, ils s'appellent Gujaratis. That is, they call themselves Gujaratis because they are from a region. They is ils. They call themselves Gujaratis because ils s'appellent Gujaratis. That is, they call themselves Gujaratis. Or they call themselves Tamilians. Ils s'appellent Tamilians. That is, Tamilians. Tamil is the language, Tamilian is the people. Like Andean, and is India, Andean is an Indian. It's a nationality. Okay, are you getting it? Okay, not okay? Yeah, thank you. So that's it for today, and we will look at, we'll get back. Okay, thank you for adapting to this time, everyone. Especially, yeah, thank you, Mega. I attend the session at peace today. Salut, merci, merci beaucoup. Yeah, thank you, Mega, for acknowledging us or thanking us. Let's keep this timing 11:30 accurate and 12:30 also accurate, because now we did start a little late. That's why I'm ending a little late, but because of the problem. So next class will be 11:30 sharp. We will try to log in at 11:25 only, so that we start exactly at 11:30, and then 12:30 will close. And also I will try to make, for like going forward, I will not try to, the reason is, when I see certain verb, I want you to look at other verbs also. So that's why I go a little off topic, and then I waste a lot of time. So let me know if you want me to go a little off topic and give the whole meaning, or you want me to stick to the presentations. Because while we do the presentations, like we stick to the presentation, I tend to cover a lot of topics in 1 hour. But when we go a little off topic, I tend to waste a lot of time. So at the end, I only cover like 1 or 2 topics. So I don't know which way is correct, but that's how it should be actually. So let me know, and I will try to stick to the presentation and keep it more direct. Thank you, Sarshina. Thank you, Nidhi. Thank you for acknowledging. Thank you, Aisha. Yeah. So even if it's late, even if it's taking time, I will try to address all your questions with the go. And if there is a need to take some extra classes in the end, I will not hesitate to do that. We can extend up till like 2.5 months. That's not a problem for me. So the whole, at the end of this, is all I want is you to understand, know, and you should be able to work out, like work by yourself. So you have this book, try as much as you can to work, because I cannot take exercises in the class. And what I will do is, I will send you the uh, the answer sheets, not the answer sheet. I have other book which has got all the answers to the questions that are there in the book. So I will forward you that as well today. So you can do the exercises, and then after the exercises are done, you can just go back and check. In that way, you can validate if there's anything wrong. So I'll send you the correction sheet also, the corrected version of the book. Okay, any questions? So that's the end of the session.
Yeah, I was asking about any audio section is there, no, in first book,
Yes,
A1
audio
level.
section is there in that book, and everywhere you have that audio symbol. That audio section is there. So it's a very huge.
No, but audio is not there, no, in the book.
Audio
Where
will
is
not be
audio?
there. It is there
So
in
I was,
subject file. That is very that's too long. So I will have to find a way that to upload and give it to you. So you give me a little time, maybe after this weekend, I will find a way, or I will upload all the audio as a YouTube video and send it across to you. Some way we
Okay,
have to do it.
an answer sheet you are talking about this, no, A1 level book, no? First book,
Yes,
A1 level.
yes.
And Rahul, we are not able to download that book, that first book. Nobody has downloaded. I asked everybody in the group.
So
There
the
is
A1,
something.
A1 book is okay.
Yeah, that last two are okay. The first one is no 250 activities.
Okay, that's fine. I
250.
have the. That's not required right now. Forget that. You just stick to this book, and for everyone it is that once we have done with one exercise, just keep checking that book, and I suggest you take a printout of that book and get it spiral binding, so that when you move turn pages, you would get a lot of other words, other examples, exercises, that once you do that in the book, and it will be easy, and after when you refer to that also it will be easy. So checking on the system will not be that effective. So get it printed and get it spiral binding, so it will be easy for you to work, and make a note then and there. You have some white spaces, you can make a note there. So it's totally upon you how you proceed ahead. But all I want you to do is do the exercises, because in the class we cannot do a lot of exercises. So do all the exercises there which are there, and I will also send you the corrected version so that you can cross check your answers. And if you will have questions, you will have doubts, you will have issues, we will address that after the class is done. Okay. So that's it for today. Thank you everyone. Merci beaucoup. Adama, et je vous souhaite a bonne journée. I wish you a bonne journée is a good day. I will quickly write down that for you. Je vous souhaite is, it's a er ending verb. Souhaite is to wish. A bon journée, a good day. I wish you a good day. Bonjour is good day. Bonne journée is, it's a feminine word. That is why we have BONNE. Journée is a day here. Have a good day, great day. This is also bonne journée. Okay. So je vous souhaite un bonne journée. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.